Hi, welcome to Behind the Mirror podcast. Thank you for watching, listening, liking and subscribing. I'm Lisa.
Hi, I'm Laura.
And today's guest, we have Craig Boyd, who is currently #1 UK winner for the SHABA Awards in Colour. And today's episode was also very kindly sponsored by SHABA. So tell us how, I'm feeling very imposter syndrome here. Like, you can't get any higher than you. So right
Thanks, it's great to be here. So last year I won male colourist at SHABA, and my apprentice got best apprentice as well.
That's amazing.
Well, they do say you're only as good as your teacher, so no pressure on your apprentice, you know. Like,
she was only 17 at the time. Absolutely, basically her first year apprentice, and to win that at SHABA was just absolutely amazing for her.
Did you ask her to go for it, or did she want to?
I don't give the staff a choice. I put them up.
Okay.
Sometimes you need somebody to just give you a nudge.
Every year I pick the categories and I put them up for what I know their strong points are. So
wow, that's and then do you allow them time in the salon to work on their own models?
I pay it all for them, and I pay the photographers and everything, so just do it as a wee team building.
Because it's a really big deal now. So when I won the Colourist Award back in 2021, and at that point you didn't have to do the professional photos and things now. So now, there's a lot goes into it.
Absolutely.
So it's incredible that even, you're doing all of that for the staff as well.
I think it just motivates them though, doesn't it?
Definitely.
It's just because everyday salon life could become tedious. You're balayaging all day, so to do a wee editorial shoot with them is just great.
You're spending time with them, aren't you? And also it's showing that, you're investing in them and you think they're capable of this as well.
Absolutely. And, we do it from scratch. We do mood boards. We try pick strengths, right? I've got one who's an amazing blow dryer, somebody else who's amazing at calico, so it's just picking the wee individual bits for everybody and just pushing them to be the best they can.
And then now you can say, right, you just need to beat me. No pressure, but your gaffer's actually #1 now, so I'm your competition. They have an inside edge, to be fair, because they can see your mood board in the salon, so they're like, right, I see what he's doing and I'm going to do the opposite.
You go into my salon now and it's covered in doll's heads I'm doing an editorial shoot in a few weeks. It's just covered in doll's heads. We'll try to get the rusty fingers out for finger waves.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
Do you know, the Golden Globes this year, there was loads of finger waves?
Yeah.
Do you remember them in your college thing? And
I used to love it.
But they used to make you do it with like gels and stuff, and it was so sticky.
You had to use the gel, so it went rock hard.
But it was like you would come out and it would be like, remember that PVA glue stuff that you would peel off your hands by the end of it? And I was like, oh my God, there's obviously like much better products in the market now that don't do it. Can you imagine like the celebrities' faces if it was like, just going to peel that off your skin a wee bit, one moment?
I know. I think it's so important to know all those things though.
Absolutely.
So it's great.
And it's skills that you learn at the start and you probably never ever do again. Like I started hairdressing 21 years ago, never done a finger wave since, so it's just trying to refresh. And
Gladys is sitting there and she needs a wee updo if you want to perfect your skills.
I hear it's a bit fuzzy. I think
she's been a bit neglected. She gets put in a box. I think Sarah last braided her 2 seasons ago, and we kind of just.
I know, she gets abandoned.
It's okay. So the thing is though that you've actually entered SHABA. How many times is it? 9?
No, I've entered it 5 times, but I've been up for 9 different. I've been in the final 9 times from different categories.
Right, and this was your first year.
First year winning.
Because one of the things that we did in Joe's episode was we covered a bit of the controversial conspiracy behind. Oh, it's because it's whoever buys the most tickets. Well, how many tickets are you buying every year?
Absolutely.
A lot.
No,
if you're taking all your staff.
But there's years that we don't go. We've not been every single year, and sometimes some of the staff have got young kids, can't make it. So there's maybe between 5 and 10.
Which is a lot.
And then there was 2 years where none of us went because they just clashed with dates that we had.
But that's the thing. So surely if there was a conspiracy on the years you've bought 15, 10 tickets, whatever, a lot, then surely you would have won, and you didn't.
Exactly, yeah.
So, if anyone's walking living proof that this cannot be a scam, it's yourself, because you're paying for all these categories. Again, if you're also paying for however many staff to enter, surely one of them would have won.
I know, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's showing, so it's quite
how
good.
Genuine it is at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. It's an amazing thing. Like, we're just a small salon in Fife. When I first started coming to SHABA years ago, it was always big salons in Edinburgh and Glasgow that won everything. And it's great to see the small salons getting recognised now.
And that's one of the other things we were talking about, like, for people who have never entered, don't be put off by the fact, I keep using the Rainbow Rooms, and it's nothing personal. They're an amazing, but everyone knows them. They've got lots of money, they've got big budgets, they've got beautiful salons, they've got the training budgets, and I think the underdog is sometimes scared to go up against that, because it's like, well, who am I compared to? But, you know, it's not always just about that.
Yep.
It's you as a person and what you bring to the table.
We don't pay for professional models. We literally use everyday clients. Beautiful women, some of them, you know. So why pay £400-500 for a model that you've got to have to put a wig on to style? Just
when you've got clients coming in the door.
I mean, I've seen me being in the street and picking people off the street and like, look, could you model for us? Would you be interested? I put a model call out the other week and my phone's been going crazy. It's just the everyday person just wanting a wee makeover and a photo shoot for free. So
a wee rainbow mohawk or something, as you do. Like,
people like to help, though. I think that's the thing as well, isn't it? Especially if they know you and they're clients of you. Like, you know, there's obviously, it's nice for them to be involved in
my
it.
SHABA model for last year is now at college doing hairdressing.
Oh, wow, I love
totally
that.
inspired her to do hairdressing. She just
How
fell in
cool
love
is
with
that?
it. So she's now at college doing it. It's
you've set the bar quite high there, haven't you? So, what were you going to put in the CV? I was actually the model of a winner of SHABA.
I've got good hair.
Yeah, I've got good hair. I'll maybe need to enter a few times in which to get myself out there, but I love that. Imagine styling your own head for SHABA. Like, I've got the mop for this.
I've got one in here.
Yeah. No, so that's absolutely amazing. And obviously, when you do go, like Joe was saying, I've never been, you've been. We're going this year. We're so excited. We're actually getting to present our own award. So that Behind the Mirror is going to have its own category this year. To be confirmed. So we're going to get to go, and I was saying to Joe, I cannot wait to be like my hair getting done in big sexy curls, or, you know, well, we're not finger waving this, can you imagine? And just be in the atmosphere of like-minded people.
The atmosphere is amazing. It's a brilliant night. Yeah. I've never, you know, we all know our industry could be so bitchy, right? But on the night at SHABA, everybody's just there enjoying themselves. It's fantastic. It's
like created a nice family, because one of the things that, well, we talk a lot about is why we set up the podcast was to try and bust some of the myths that the hairdressing industry is not kind at times. I mean, I think we would all like to say that that's the truth, but it's not. And some of these forums for hairdressers can be a horrible, horrible environment to be in. And I was actually saying to Craig before you arrived, I was in a forum this morning scrolling, and someone had asked for help on a formulation, and I actually had corrected somebody very similar to the photo that she had. So I said, oh, you know, like, I use the same colour as you and this is what I've used. And the comments were just not on mine, but it seemed like there was very few people that were wanting to help. It was just like, oh my God, that's an absolute state.
You've done
why have you done that? Yeah, why have you foiled on that placement? That's not helpful.
Yeah.
That's not what she's asking. She's put herself out there. She's put her hands up and said, like, this isn't a very good job. She wanted this. And then, you know, people aren't kind. Instead of saying, right, okay, well, what to do is, don't panic. You can use this, you can use this, you can do that. Explain this to your client and show her this image, and here you go. Actually, people are like, I can't even take my eyes off that cut. I can't even take my eyes off that foil placement. But they're the ones that shout loudest, and we want to encourage that. That's just not a cool way to be.
And it's just a small percentage of the industry, but it's that percentage that does bring it down there.
And it's probably what puts people off wanting to be a hairdresser, because it takes a lot of courage to stand up to someone and say, okay, I made a mistake, but I'm asking how to fix it. You know, like, can you help? And yeah, like, we've talked a lot about, like, well, I was saying to Craig about imposter syndrome in the industry. It seems like you could be amazing at something. You could know that you're amazing. I mean, you are number one in Scotland right now, and you are still saying that you still have it.
Absolutely. I mean, my husband's I was saying earlier, my husband's a hairdresser, barber, and when I was coming away this morning, he's like, oh, you're doing so well, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, Adrian, I'm doing a podcast. Like, no, you've just won SHABA, you're doing a podcast, you're in Project Scotland. Is like, you're really career's taking off, and I just see it as just another day.
I know, but it's funny because it is so hard to celebrate these things when it's yourself. See, if it's somebody else, you think, oh my God, this is amazing, look at all of this.
If that was my team, I'd be cheering them
why
all
do you
over.
downplay it when it's yourself? I don't know why.
No shit either.
I know.
We were talking about doing some educational stuff on the channel, and maybe doing like some top tips for like busy mums, you know, like, and it was like, I curl hair all day, all the time, constantly. I love it. I know I'm decent at it. Like, But the idea of putting yourself on a video that's filmed for other hairdressers to see, and they have an opinion on, I wouldn't have curled it like that, I wouldn't have used that setting spray, I wouldn't have, it's a horrible thing.
Absolutely.
And it's so odd, and this is what we would like to stop. Like, so, by talking about it and putting ourselves out there, we're saying, like, there's no need for that. We don't need to, you don't like the video, you don't like the picture, you can either offer some help, or you can scroll on.
Yeah.
There's no need.
So how did you end up getting into hairdressing? What was the story?
So I always wanted to be a hairdresser. Like, growing up in the 80s, 90s, it was hard being gay. And being a gay Catholic was even worse because Catholic guilt is real.
Yep.
So I left school at 16, had somebody pregnant, got to be a dad, so I just went right into jobs to make money.
Yep.
Then ended up getting married and having more kids. And it wasn't until I was sitting in my office one day and I was like, I'm 25. If I don't do hair now, I'll never do it. Luckily, I was on my redundancy notice, so I phoned up my boss and I was like, when does this finish? She's like, next week. I says, right, I'm taking redundancy now. And I went right through to the college and signed up.
Perfect timing, almost in that redundancy.
Yeah, it was just, I was just sitting one day and I was like, I've no passion for what I'm doing. This isn't really where I want to be, stuck in an office. So I took my notice and went and done hairdressing.
I think it's so important that you actually follow what you want to
Absolutely.
do. Well, look at you now.
Well, it must be meant because I might end up marrying my tutor, so...
So it really worked out for you.
All right, was there an alternate reason you wanted to do hairdressing, Craig? This is where it all comes live. The juicy gossip is coming out now. Like, I actually don't really like hair, but I really, really like the tutor.
I was at that age where I came out just a few years before... divorced freshly, and I was like, you know what, this is time for me to live. And so I done it, just took the leap. My mum and that were going crazy because she was like, I was on an amazing wage. I worked with drug and alcohol and amazing money. She's like, you got to go into a career that's no money. I was like, Mum, that's what you've been brought up because you weren't allowed to do hairdressing for. That's what my granny's views were,
It's such a stereotypical way of thinking about hairdressing, isn't it? That it's a low wage, and don't get me wrong, it was at one point and still is for a lot of people who undercharge, which we've spoken about before. Like the prices in the industry are, some people keep them so low and they don't. Anyway, but that's another story. But yeah, I think there is that kind of view that you want to do, you just want to be a hairdresser and then minimum wage, and almost drives you a wee bit to be more than that.
Because when I was doing the placements in a salon, I absolutely loved it. And come to the end of my training, I'd asked for a job, and I was basically told, because of your age, we're looking for minimum wage 16. So I've always been ballsy, and I left then, and I tried a few places, couldn't get nothing. So I literally left college and rented a chair.
Yeah.
And self-taught.
Which is quite difficult going and renting a chair when you don't have a client base.
No clientele whatsoever.
And no boss to help.
The shop that I went into was literally a small walk-in cutting shop. That's all it was, a walk-in cutting shop. So I learnt my cuts in there while still doing courses on colours, and then I was able to sort of move on.
So now you've got a salon, and is everyone employed, or are they self-employed, or
half and half? I've got half self-employed, half employed.
Right,
is that, do you let them choose, or do you choose? Or?
So what I've done is the ones that were self-employed, we had a staff meeting, and I was like, right, this is the route I want to go down. I was on board, and they were all agreed to it. So they all went self-employed, and then that allowed me to then start employing 2 apprentices at a time. So
fab.
Train them up.
And the thing as well about having a boss, when that's what I was saying about when you're training, is that you do make mistakes. In fact, you always make mistakes. There's always more to learn. Colour is always evolving and cuts and things. And so the knowledge that they've got a support network that they can phone their boss and be like, okay, I've made an accident, or I'm stuck, or I don't know what to do. Instead of being self-employed, the way you've done it's been really hard.
Yeah, very hard. And I remember I lost my big salon at COVID. Left with, the debt was unreal. I hadn't paid pensions, everything. It was just, everything had just piled up. The salon was too big. I tried to go too big too quick, and it failed. And I sat for a few months and I'm like, right, what am I going to do? A shop came available in the high street. I went, right, you know what? I'm going to take a beer shop, during COVID, like my staff were texting, like handing notice in, they had all found other jobs, opened up themselves, so to speak, some of them. So I was starting from scratch, and it was the best thing I'd done. Absolutely.
Probably didn't feel like that at the time. So stressful.
It was so stressful. But there's 5 years later, debt is paid off, and now I've bought the salon, I own it outright. You know, it's just the best thing I've done.
And you're a SHABA holder?
Yeah, I'm a SHABA holder.
And you married your tutor. I mean, that's definitely my favourite thing of this. Like, you know, I actually went on to marry my tutor, genuinely. Because you never mentioned that on the phone, so that's a jaw dropper for me when we had our wee meeting before this. Yeah, that's a brilliant.
I think it takes a lot for somebody though to be, you know, to hit that point where you've kind of had to start again. A lot of people go, right, do you know what, this hasn't worked, let's do something else. So I think to then
but when the passion's there for hair, but you know, that's
absolutely.
all I want to do is hair. That's it. So when the passion's there, you find a way to get, you find the solution. So. And
it says a lot about yourself though as well, like that determination, like you know that you can do this. So
I mean, I could have took a route and went into teaching at the college and that, you know, but it's not what I do. I want to be behind the chair. That's what I love.
Yeah. Do you think that COVID sort of helped you because there was that period of time? Do you think it helped you kind of reflect and figure out what you want?
I think COVID made hairdressers be appreciated more.
Yeah, definitely.
And I definitely think hairdressers found their own worth as well with that appreciation and stopped undercharging themselves and underselling themselves. So I think due to that aspect, COVID has done wonders for the industry. Adrian and I just went back and forward, right, what we've got to do here. I was lucky I had his wage. He was at the college, so we had money and that coming in. But it was heartbreaking walking away for everything. But as I say, a couple of months we opened back up and
it's like plan reset. Right, okay, so now where are we going with this? The plan's obviously worked very well. So
I think you're like a really amazing walking, you know, inspiration for people that have maybe, and obviously COVID's long gone, people are still suffering the effects of that on their business. But for anyone that's listening, and not just in hairdressing, any industry, that feels like, oh, I'm stuck, I'm in a position, I don't like my job, I don't like my life. Well, change it. And actually, you know, you can. I did as well. Like, you know, I went through law school and then was like, this is just, practiced as a lawyer for a bit, hated that, came back. So it can be done. It's just the ballsier way of doing it, and it's a big risk. Yeah,
not even just to then go into hairdressing, just for anybody listening that is in a job that you don't like. It just shows you when you do something that you are passionate about. It doesn't need to be hairdressing, it can be anything, but it shows you how, you know, making that decision can change everything for you.
And it won't change if you don't change it.
Absolutely.
So, like, the fact you've been able to get up and keep going, because I bet you people say to you all the time, or did at the time, like, oh, God, how are you coping? How are you? Well, because you have to.
But I must admit, my clients were amazing. Like, I still do clients yet that I've done when I was at college training, you know, and they have followed me to every salon I've been to, and they kept me going. Just a wee text now and again, a wee bit of encouragement, and that's that's what kept me going.
That's definitely something we've talked about before. Your superstar clients, the ones that know, do you know, he's having a terrible time, and they don't judge you for it, and instead they want to empower you and motivate you more, because it's not like we do an office job. You don't just shut the laptop at the end of the day and go home. Like, you're all day got to put on a brave face. It is like a performance. And so when your clients know you and they can tell she's at it or he's at it, you know, they don't look themselves, it's harder to be like, no, I'm fine. You know, the building's falling apart, but don't worry about that. Like, you know, and actually it's really nice to be appreciated.
Absolutely.
So what's your future plans?
Future plans? Well, I'm thinking about going back in for SHABA this year for male stylist.
Are you going to go again?
I'm thinking about going again,
Love that.
Don't think about it, just do it. You can't be number one and then not go again.
Time's ticking.
And I've got a busy year. I'm doing, I'm doing Project Scotland this year, and I'm working alongside We Love Purple Hearts to try and get more hairdressers state registered. Stop these one-day extension courses for non-trained hairdressers, and you know, so I'm working a lot with them. I'm going to do a photo shoot with them soon, and then they've got a big hair show in Dorset that I'm going to be headlining for them this year. So
wow, that's amazing.
Few things on. Then September I start my colour masters, so
Wow.
So busy year. Busy
So
year.
what's
amazing.
the plan then? See things like these one-day courses. Are they going to try and get better regulation in? Because I think there's a lot of people listening that wouldn't know.
Yeah, we
that,
need regulation.
Oh, 100%.
Like, we are one of the only countries that are unregulated in hairdressing. I mean, our
Yeah.
scissors are the sharpest a surgeon's scalpel. The danger we can do with chemicals that we use, you know,
100%.
anybody can right now pick up and start hairdressing without a qualification. And
How often do a client, when they come into a salon, they'll ask to see your papers or ask to see like, a certificate on the wall? They don't.
yeah,
You just trust
and
that they
any
know what
other
they're doing.
tradesperson, you would be checking this, and it's scary that you can actually. The worst is it's hairdressers that are giving these courses to non-hairdressers. Like,
I know.
why?
I know.
Why?
I think the extensions one for me, obviously I do a lot of extensions, and that when I went on the course, wasn't quite one day, it went on a while, but there was non-hairdressers on that course. So you're learning to fit it, and then, but see when it came to cutting them, like, they gave us, it's the worst thinning scissors ever, and a pair of really junk scissors, right? So obviously I'd take my own stuff, and I'm watching these people holding the scissors like it was paper, and I'm like, how on earth are you going to learn in an hour how to face frame or how to... That took forever for me to learn as a hairdresser, and now it's even harder with extensions because you need to try and get that blend. And yeah, that seemed really strange that they were going to be set free. And then obviously as hairdressers, we set a price because we are qualified, we pay a lot of money. And then people come and say, well, but, you know, I've seen a deal for a full head of extensions for £200. I'm like, well, first of all, it's obviously a fox's tail that they're putting in your head because I don't know where they're buying that hair. But, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the quality of the hair is like with that.
Yeah.
Bogging. And then, you know, second of all, you're thinking, but they've maybe only paid a couple of £100 for an online course. I had to pay thousands for mine, as well as keeping up to date with the new methods and things. So
I mean, it's the colour matching and everything. It's not just the blending. I've seen some disasters out there, and it's people who are just trying to save a penny and go it's twice as dear in the end because they've got to figure it fixed somewhere.
But they maybe don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, clients probably don't know right now that you can do certain services, including beauty ones. I'm not clued up too much on that, but I know nails, things like that,
Nails, yeah.
without actually having done the qualification. And so that's really interesting that they're going to sort of put a stop. So what's the plan? Are you allowed to talk about that at the moment?
Yeah, yeah. So what the plan is for We Love You Now is to get as much hairdressers on board as working to a professional standard. So once you've joined up with them, there's loads of training, and it's to get everybody that's regulated up to the standard that they should be, from senior stylist to master stylist to art directors. You know, there's a bit for everybody, and it's been a great project so far. The training is just non-stop, and it's not just for hair. They do a lot of trichology, you know, going right into the scalp, and because let's face it, I mean, we don't know what's in there that's causing contraindications to the hair, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of everything. So right now they're working alongside the Hair Council, just trying to get as much people state registered, and hopefully we can get enough to make sure our whole industry is regulated.
And do you pay a monthly fee for that? Or
Monthly fee, it varies for what package you take. There is, and if you've got apprentices, don't quote me on this, but I'm sure if you've got apprentices, your apprentices join up for free.
Under you.
So which is great for them as well, because it's giving them all that extra training on the side.
Oh, we'll definitely share a link on this episode then, because that's amazing. And certainly giving people the confidence, clients as well, to know that hopefully eventually wherever they're getting their hair done, they know has to be a certain level. And then, you know, we don't end up with as many sort of difficult jobs to correct or break someone's heart and be like, I'm so sorry, I need to take all these extensions out, and you're on a ban at the moment because your hair is RIP. Because that is hard to, like, as someone with almost no hair myself, if you said to me, by the way, we're banning you from extensions, I'd be like, oh my God. I mean, I had to wear a wig in the last 2 episodes. I want to address this.
Not because the extensions were bad, by the way. Can I
No,
just say that?
because I'm breastfeeding, and they basically, what happened was my hormones, no, they'd all fallen out. My hair is just on a massive cast because I've stopped breastfeeding, and we couldn't get them to stay in my head. So we had to do a short-term ban, not because there was anything wrong with them, but because I would have been at your house every other day, like, here's 20, here's 30. So I had to wear this horrific wig in case anyone was looking at it and
did
wanted.
give your hair a break though.
It did, and then I've got them back in. But yeah, certainly we can address that in case anyone's watching those episodes going, her hair's an absolute riot. It was a wig, lads. It was an Amazon next day delivery wig. But yeah, no, that's amazing. You're honestly doing so incredible.
Aye. You know what? It's scary to put yourself out there. There is a lot of criticism, but if you didn't put yourself out there, you're not going to get far. You're not going to do much of you. So it's just plucking that courage up and going for it.
I would also say that the people who criticise are probably the ones that have never put themselves out there.
Yeah.
The people that leave the comments, the people that say things to your face and you think, did you enter SHABA? No. Have you done a podcast? No. Have you done anything public that maybe makes you uncomfortable and draws attention to uncomfortable stuff? Probably not. Sit back down.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's so true though, isn't it? Yeah. So going forward, hopefully you're gonna have another SHABA. You're definitely gonna have to enter. That's a thing.
We'll enter. We'll be entering.
Yeah, and then hopefully your apprentices are going to be doing amazing as well. And is there a plan for another salon or
no?
Not at the moment.
One's enough. I just think concentrate on the one that I've got and make that the best version it can be.
And I love that you were saying that the area you're based in is a whole, what is it, like a whole street of salons?
The street is full. I think there's about 6 hair salons, 5 Turkish barbers, 4 nail places. You know, it's just all hair and beauty.
Do you know what it sounds like? 5 Turkish barbers, 3 nail bars.
That's exactly what it's
Yeah, okay, so
That's
sorry,
the
I
case
sidetracked us there. Just as soon as you were saying that, I lied, that's where my brain went. But you were saying at Christmas and New Year, like your pipes, was it the pipes or was it electric?
We come in on New Year's Eve to no electric. There was only 2 shops in the high street affected, and I was one. Put a wee thing on Facebook, and the next minute I had all the salons phone in saying, "Oh, look, just come and work for here. Bring your clients down, work in my shop for the day." Like,
amazing.
Fantastic.
I actually love that.
Yeah.
Because when we started up the podcast, we spent a long time messaging local people whose names we'd seen, being recommended by clients, not famous or anything, just like, you know their names on the pages, and we got nothing. No response. We didn't get. Am I right in saying the one response we got was a thumb up?
I know.
And I was like, and at that point it felt we'd put ourselves. We hadn't started, so we had no numbers, we had no credibility, and it felt really downtrodden. We were
just trying to saying, look, this is what we want to do to help the industry. So do you want to come
on board?
Do you want to support us? Like, do you want to be a voice as well? And
have you got stories? Do you want any topics interest? And honestly, tumbleweed flew through the inbox. I spent all day messaging all these salons and stuff, and then it was really gutting because it's like it felt like it's flopped before it started.
Yeah.
And then actually, so to hear that your area is totally
we
different.
phone each other up. Oh, look, I've run out of foils. Can you give me a box of foils and I'll replace it tomorrow? Like, we've got a great
love that.
Wow, that's amazing. That's how it should be.
The only time
Absolutely.
I remember that was when I worked in my last salon. We had a problem. The water went off, and I remember the salon down the road let us wash the tints off. I remember that. But my boss that I worked for at the time he was like one of the they were like one of the original salons on the main street. So I think there was a lot of respect for him in the whole area, actually, not even just like between hairdressers. And they did help us that day. I don't know that people would help me now in my salon.
I don't know either. Like, I've actually been fortunate enough to never have to ask, but it is a thing that it would be really nice to connect with other salons locally to know. I hope that if anyone's watching this and they're near me and they run out of peroxide, that they would text me and it would be never a problem at all.
Yeah.
It should be. We're all there's enough business for everybody. We've all got our own niche, our own clients.
Yeah.
Like, we should be able to work together without feeling threatened by each other.
Absolutely.
And price shouldn't have to be an argument.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm way cheaper than that. That's okay. You're allowed to be what you want to be, but it doesn't mean that you're better or worse at your job than me. You've just set your price at a different scale
absolutely.
To where you want to go and what courses you want to do this year, because they cost a lot of money. So you need to factor that into your thing.
So see how you said there's quite a lot of salons round about you. How, when you were setting up there, how did you work out like the pricing? Did you look at the pricing round about, or did you?
No, really. I was one of the first salons on this. So I've been on the street for 18 years, I think.
Right.
So I was one of the first on the street.
Yeah. So it's still the same street you are, even though it's a different
still the same street,
unit.
just a different unit.
Right.
Yeah. So I didn't do any research. I knew a couple close by that I used to go to myself, but I just opened it, worked out the prices, what I was paying out, and
your costs,
and then
Which is the way you should do it.
Then I tweaked it. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not really making much money for this, so then I had to put the prices up. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I do think there is a lot of pressure, like if there is other salons round about you, to keep the price, you know, the same. And I think that's the problem. A lot of people do that. But actually, as you say, you need to look at your own costs and work out what you need to make a living. I think if everyone done that, actually the prices would probably be much the same but higher. I think it would raise the standard a wee bit.
It's also though, what do you want to specialise in? So like me with extensions, you might not do as many as what I do and therefore not need to go on as many courses to update your knowledge constantly, whereas I do. So I want the money to be able to say, no, I'm going to go extra, I'm going to learn how to do that.
So see how what we were saying about, you know, about salons and the different pricing. See years ago, so it's obviously different now with a lot of people use online booking and things and you can see the prices. Now I know for a fact that a lot of people don't use online booking because they don't want other salons to see their prices.
Oh, really?
But yeah, so see like years ago, so when I worked in that salon, so the salon was very traditional the way they done things. It was like paper book, appointment book, phone calls, and we used to get phone calls to the salon asking how much it was for a cut and blow dry, and a lot of the time when you told them, they would hang up. And my boss at the time used to say, that's another hairdresser.
Why?
Right?
What, for
So
what
it was
benefit?
I bet it was like a secret. Nobody was allowed to know the prices. So then we were
Nobody's
given almost like a kind of script that we had to say to get round without giving them the price. So if they phone, it was so I don't know why.
What's your job as an apprentice? I have to actually dodge bullets through the phone.
Everyone in the salon, so if they phoned and said how much is it for a cut and blow dry, you would almost have to make it difficult for them, so then they would hang up eventually if it was a hairdresser. But sometimes it was, sometimes it was a client. Like that's a big rigmarole.
But who cares?
You would have to say to them, you know, have you been in the salon before? Oh, we've actually all got different prices, so our prices, you know, and it would be a huge thing. But now, obviously, you've got the online booking, so it was hard. And actually, it is still quite hard to find. Other salons don't display their prices. I don't know why.
We Betty's sitting there thinking, I just want to know, doll, if I can use my pension to get my weekly cut and blow dry.
It's amazing the amount of people, other salons, well, we assumed it was, because why else would they hang up? You could tell that they were just, you were given a job. We actually were told to do it as well. To phone around other salons to find out how much it was. Just, I think, to gauge what their prices were. But I don't know. How mental is that?
They're a whole 50 pence more than us. Oh,
We would always seem to be the dearest on the street, though, and always were. But they had that reputation. I mean, it was the best salon in the street.
But it all comes down to what products do you use? What colour are you using?
I know.
What tools are you buying? I mean, a Dyson Airwrap's nearly £500.
Yeah.
So, and some people really love that look. Somebody might be using an Argos wand that doesn't quite heat up enough so the curls don't stay in.
I know.
Like, all of these factors can be included in all of these things, but that's wild. God, some folk have got far too much time on their hands.
It is now, though. Like, even now, people are just throwing their prices about online. And
I might
going into that, like, see on the booking systems, like, we get a lot booting in for highlights and they come in, I'm like, no, you're actually after a platinum card. But they're looking for the cheapest set of highlights on the system so they can book in it.
It's like there might be people that book online for a service that they don't want just because there's maybe not time for the real thing. They'll book a wet cut instead of a cut and blow dry. And then they want the blow dry.
Well, see, because I don't have a booking system, so I do all mine manually. Like, to be fair as well, last week I took on 3 new clients. That's the first new clients I've taken on in months. But yeah, I don't need to deal with that because I tell them, yeah, that's not a root touch-up, that's a full balayage. That's
The good thing is if they've booked it themselves, then if you can do it, you can do it. If you can't, you can't, you know.
That's wild.
I know. But that's the good thing as well about having them, everybody's employed. So if somebody's free, if Brandon's free, he can do the blow dry for Chloe instead, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got self-employed staff, I don't know how that would work.
Yeah.
I don't know how do you find that? Like,
so generally, my self-employed staff I let them use my booking system as well. That's included in their rent. If they were quiet, I would just say, do you want to take the client? You know, so they were still getting done in the salon.
So see if they were doing a client and they'd booked for one, so somebody done the cut and somebody done the blow dry, but they're both self-employed, how would you just split that so that they both earn?
Yeah, we would just work out like what they take the money for the cut off of the colour.
Yeah, and try and work it out that way. Because it's quite difficult because the wet cut price for me isn't like, if you added a blow dry to that would be more. So it's quite hard to.
Oh my God, this is like an absolute science in itself.
Yeah, I know.
So my junior, Lucy, has handed in her notice. I'm absolutely devastated.
Oh, has she actually?
Yeah. So Lucy,
You thought that was coming?
I did. Lucy's moved to Edinburgh. She never wanted to be a hairdresser. She's been with me 2 years. She is phenomenal. She is, I would say, pretty much the brains of the entire operation. I'm just the muscle. Like, Lucy knows, like, she'll say to me, oh, you need to order blah. You need to, like, she's so good. She's so on the ball. So the other day we were making a joke and a client had said about, like, oh, you know, you live in Edinburgh. I was like, we don't even talk about that anymore. She breaks my heart. So not only is Lucy putting her notice, our last shift is Valentine's Day. I was like, is this a sick prank?
No, but
Is
I
this
feel
a
like
joke?
I feel like that's right timing for you as well.
Valentine's Day. She's my wee idol. I love her.
No, I don't mean
Now
actually
she's
Valentine's
breaking
Day.
up with me on Valentine's Day.
But there's so much evolving for you.
I know.
It's the right timing.
Do you know, she's actually so good. She's found herself a replacement for her own job, like, without being asked. So
Wow.
she gave me her notice and she was like, but don't worry. I know someone and her mum's a hairdresser and she's actually stopping work just now and she's already worked in another salon. I was like, oh my God, I just love you. Don't leave.
That's how I ended up with Chloe, because the girl before her
Found
recommended
Chloe.
her.
I mean, like,
She went to school with her.
so good. So I was like, great, before you leave on Valentine's Day, I'm just going to keep emphasising that, my broken heart will beat no more. She's going to actually train up the girl that she knows to come in and get her to a certain level before she starts me, which is amazing. But I'm definitely pranking her. I'm going to say to her, but so before she leaves, I'm going to be like, right, I need you to phone around all the salons today and ask for a couple of times and see if anyone like dodges the call. And how many inches is it that you want off, and have you been to the salon before, and where is it you stay, because your postcode will affect the boundary line.
How do you find the apprentice thing where you are? So you're in Fife.
I'm in Fife. So apprentices now, we're having so much hassle. Our colleges have stopped taking on hairdressing apprenticeships.
So it's happened here as well.
So
Why is that?
It's because there's so much self-employed, they're not employing.
Right, so this is really difficult as a salon owner, trying to find somewhere to put your apprentice through that isn't a private.
Yeah, I've had to go private this time with these two because they're doing the level 3. They're just halfway through the level 2. We've got the phone call to say, I'm sorry, that's
a huge cost though, like for a salon.
Massive cost. It's the big signing up fee, and then there's the monthly fees. You know, we've never had that before, and it's just piles of stress on. But yeah, sadly, because they rent a chair, we're no employing as much.
It's really difficult because for me, so normally you would have your apprentice, and then you would then end up, you know, once they're qualified, then they would be a stylist, and then as a salon, you gain what you've invested back in them. Because I'm quite a small. The salon itself physically is quite small, so once I've trained like the apprentice Jess that I've got, unless something changes, there's not a lot of wiggle room for me to give her like a full-time job as a stylist. So for me to then invest money to train her, for her to then leave and go and work somewhere else, it's quite hard for me. But then I want to help her. I don't have a lot of options with it, to be honest, unless she wants to travel to East Kilbride. She's 16, she doesn't drive. Public transport is not easy to get from mine to. You'd need to go into town and then come. It's totally don't know what to do at the moment.
I never thought where hairdressing apprenticeships were getting cancelled at colleges because it was the first course to get full. But where we are, the classes went from 25 down to 7 because there was just nobody employing.
So at that point,
they couldn't justify keeping classes going for that.
I don't know whether to tell her to go to college, because you can do the full-time courses still in Glasgow. They just don't have the day release. So
Same in Fife, you can do a full-time.
Mental, because that's how you learn the best.
I don't know whether to say
I
that
was day release, I was an apprentice, I learned in-house way more than I ever was taught in a college. Basically, the way my employer saw it was like, the college is there to tick a box. I'm training you, not like, you know. So it was kind of nonsense, the college, to be honest, but you did need it to get, you know, qualified properly, and someone was going to check your work and stuff like that. I do get why we need it. And I obviously imagine the standard now is way better than what it would have been when I was doing it. Not by my employer was amazing, but the college itself.
I think the thing is as well, like the actual physical side of the, you know, all the actual practical training, you know, we can do in the salon, and we do a lot of, and she's already capable of a lot. But I always quite like the college for the theory stuff. You know, it's almost like for that, because it does take so much time. So
I'm really lucky. Paula, who's working with me, she qualifies in a couple of months. She's at college. She was doing that before she came to work with me. And the thing for me is, like, so I don't do perms. So I like the fact that she's gone to a college, because otherwise I'd need to start pulling out stuff like that. And
our colleges have stopped teaching permanent as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Never done permanent. Yeah, you can do it, but it's not part of the
it's
curriculum.
not
You have
part
to
of
do it
it,
as an add-on. Who's going actually
But yeah,
add-on
our ones have
permanent?
stopped teaching permanent.
Do you know what I mean?
wow, but this
I know.
is
I actually love a wee perm.
I
It's
take
easy.
it, is anything happening then with your Project Scotland? Are they going to be targeting colleges to assess what's happening here, or how we fix this going forward?
To be honest, I've only been to one of the Project Scotland yet, so we'll have a proper meeting at the next one. But I just think, even if you've got a salon, even if it's a home salon, if you can afford an apprentice, they're worth the investment.
Yeah.
Definitely worth the investment.
Like for me, so with Lucy and Paula, I am the fee earner, as it were, but they allow me to earn more because I can, like, they'll do the blow dries, they'll do the washing, the tinting, like things like that.
That's like me.
Yeah, so it frees me up to then go and put on a balayage.
Yep.
You know, Lucy is outstanding at, like, see, like a Hollywood wave. I mean, honestly, genuinely better than me. Like, she's really brilliant at it. So she can be left to go and do something like that. Client's ecstatic because it's perfect.
Yep.
And that's then how you make your money back, because I don't pay minimum wage. They get more. They get tips. I put bonuses in where I can, sick pay where I can, you know, things as much as I can help back. But you then need that money to come back to you.
Absolutely.
And like, well, you've now freed me up to go and do this, so I can earn more money for the salon to pay you that.
That's like me. I don't blow dry, or I basically cut and colour. My juniors do my toning, my blow dries, everything, styling.
Yeah.
That's the exact same as me.
Yeah.
Once they're at a level where, like, no, that's brilliant, then there's no need for me to stand and dry someone's hair. My clients will joke, because unless they're booked in for a bouncy blow dry, in which case then I might take on that. But my clients will joke, like, I'm just going up the road to clean my toilet, or I'm going to run, Lisa, and I'm like, let me wave it or something, like, it needs to leave, like, it's done. But the truth of the matter is, hairdressing a lot of the time now, it's just because you need your roots done. You know, generally speaking, how often do you get people that are going on a big night out? That's my favourite hair to do as well, because I do makeup as well. That's my favourite. See, on a Saturday when someone's going to, like, an awards, or they're going to, like, a wedding or something, and it's like the buzz. I love it.
I know.
No, that's definitely something then that we need to address. And, you know, see, in the future then, if Project Scotland want to filter anything through us, please keep in touch with us to let us know.
We love for the registration.
Yeah, but also know, generally, if there's information that we can share that might help situation, because we would like to put a bit of pressure on the college. We did reach out to them. We reached out to, what college was it we reached out to? Can't even remember now. One up by you.
The one that I emailed. So that was the Glasgow City College, because it was them that I used for the apprentices before. So when they came back to me and said that they weren't offering apprentices, and it was actually quite funny, because they sent me a link to say, you know, if you click on this link, it'll tell you all the places that are available for apprentices, and you click on it and there's like none. So I was like, that's an easy way of saying, like, you know. And so then we actually emailed a tutor that used to do the college, courses, and they never replied.
I also emailed the college direct and asked if they would comment or provide us information that we could maybe help, you know, with our reach on social media and stuff. If there's a way to solve this, let's stop just labelling it a problem and let's look for the solution. Let's work together. You need more jobs. Can we do something? Can we put a wee bit of pressure on the government to get some funding available for salons to employ? We must be able to do something.
Well, the problem you've now got is, so by them removing that kind of way of certification for young people, it's almost then going to create a bigger problem of people doing hairdressing that haven't got certificates.
Yep.
So then, you know, that side of the problem is only going to get worse, because it's like people then just, it forces them into these one-day courses, and then that's it.
And then onto those
I've got two apprentices now. One of them, she'd done her first 2 years with me, another one done it at college, and the skill difference between them is like crazy. She's running a full column. He's basically starting from scratch again. I mean, we need apprentices. That's
100%.
We need them. It's just, day release is great, but when you've got 30, 40 people at a time finishing every year, down to these just few apprentices who have been in the salon and doing the work. You can totally tell the difference in the skill sets.
It's like learning to drive a car, isn't it? They teach you how to feed the wheel, and then you pass your test and you're like, like, wait a minute, I'm allowed to put music on it now, and I don't need to keep spinning, you know, and you learn how to drive once you're on the floor, and that's like hair. I think like you learn the theory, learn the basics, but until you've made mistakes and learned from them, until you've watched things in person or done things and thought, that was good. Like, it's like, I'll say to clients, sometimes I'll cut their extensions in an odd way, as it were, non-structure haircut, because that's not how they wear their hair. So you go against the rules of hairdressing, because you're like, well, there's no point in me giving you this haircut because you're not going to do that. You know, you're going to flip it over or whatever. So we're going to cut it to the style you wear it visually. And that's the whole point in working on the floor, really, to be able to give that experience. But
So what would you say, like, product-wise, that you sort of tend to work with? What have you got, one particular brand that you
I use Alpha Perf. I changed about 3 years ago now. I was always mad on Matrix. I loved Matrix. I was a Matrix salon for years and years.
Did you train with Matrix?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes, and I loved them, and I kept them in every salon I went to. But a few years ago, Beck's come out to see me with this Alpha Perf, and just amazing products.
It's always nice to try new things.
So if you're on a desert island and you're only taking a couple, what's your absolute favourite products ever? Highest recommend?
Sea salt spray.
Okay.
I never leave without that. I absolutely love it. I use it for everything. I use it in setting my old ladies to get in a nice shag.
Do you use it in an old lady set?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow, I've never
An
known
old lady
that.
set. You didn't just call it that. An old lady set.
Older lady.
An older lady set. Imagine putting that on the price list. Older lady set. £12.50.
Use it in a set. A brilliant hold. Just gives a nice texture through the hair as well. I use it for almost near everybody comes into the salon gets a bit of salt spraying.
Does it have a nice smell?
Beautiful
Because salt
smell.
sprays usually don't
Yeah.
smell of anything, do they? Oh, love. Obviously, salt spray for me, because I do so many extensions, it gives me the fear, because I always think the salt would potentially corrode the beads, so I don't tend to touch them. Oh, wow, that is really, really fresh. It actually smells like perfume. It's lovely.
The whole product range, the smells of them are gorgeous.
Anything else that you would say tool-wise or...
Tool-wise, I've got two favourite tools.
Oh, right, okay,
Two on
okay.
Really
I couldn't
pretty.
decide this morning what one, right? See my dum-dum rollers. Absolutely
Are
love
these
these.
yours? Are these the ones that you have?
So, no, but these are like the B-Bounce ones that I've
These
got,
are
the thermal rollers.
Amazing.
I didn't know
Oh my
Fantastic.
goodness, they're different colours.
Yeah. Different colours, different sizes. Amazing.
Oh, right, so I got the B-Bounce ones of these. So they're like, I don't have different sizes
Yeah,
though.
there's two sizes in it.
Yeah. What is it with these that make them so nice to work
you know
with?
what? I don't know what it is, but they're just
It's like they glide
perfect.
through
Even for
the hair.
rolling, they're just amazing.
So do you use them a lot in salon? Are they the go-to?
All the time, every day, even if it's just for a wee bit at the side,
I like
use
the
them all the
different
time.
colours.
Love.
Mine are all the same colour.
I know, they're really eye-catching on the camera. I feel like show it over to the... Like, they're really luminous.
The only downside of them is you can only buy them in America, and the postage is terrible.
Right.
Right,
But-
we're going to get on the
but
company then.
they
We'll-
are. I spoke
Oh,
to them
it's
the other
nice
week.
purple one too.
But they're amazing.
So you better buying lots of sets at one time as opposed to... Right, okay.
But yeah, there is, I don't know, they're a total game changer for Velcro rollers. Love them.
And the
That's
second
amazing.
tool...
My second tool has got to be the Tropea, the Alpha Perf, so you're getting your 3 barrels in one. I just love it. It's just
right.
one of the
Very
best,
shiny.
one of the best tongs I've used, and as I say, you're getting 3 for one. It's amazing.
That's really good that you can change the
Yeah,
thickness.
just change the heads
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah. Especially
Again,
even just for space in the drawers, because I feel like we've got a drawer and it's just hundreds of tongs.
yeah,
I mean,
we
your
used
man's a
to-
joiner. Get him to design you a
We used to
feature
use
wall.
a lot of beach wavers and things, but
Yeah.
we changed to these because everything for 3. But
Yeah.
yeah, one of my favourite tools ever.
And they're the company, obviously, you're using generally anyway. Do they retail to clients? Or
They're Alpha Italia.
sorry.
And they retail to clients. And
So what's
you
the
know,
RRP on those?
£170 for you
For
get 3.
three.
You
But
get
that's the
3.
three.
Yeah, you're getting 3. So
Yeah.
And it's got obviously adjustable heat settings.
yeah.
Ah, that's amazing. I love that idea.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today
you
and
for
coming
having
all
us.
this way as well to be in the studio. We really appreciate it. Just hearing your whole story and how inspirational really that's been. And certainly we would love to have you back to talk further about
love to be back.
things maybe we could do to improve the industry, especially, and open up some apprentice spaces.
And we'll see you at the Shabas as well.
SHABA's, yeah.
Well, no surprise here. Number one, you know it's a fix. It is a fix, folks. I'm just kidding. Can you imagine the conspiracies out?
Oh, no.
It's because he's married his tutor. That's what's happened. Thank you for watching, listening, liking, and subscribing. We will see you next week with another episode.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.